Just want to give a quick review to an app that I love to use. I actually heard about it. I think it was on JavaScript Jabber, this podcast I like to listen to that is really insightful when it comes to JavaScript and just a lot of other things going on in the tech world, more so programming world. But then there's a lot of related topics that come up in that podcast too. It's a weekly show. And one of the things that came up in one of the shows was Enki, which is this app that basically allows you to do workouts every day just for a few minutes, 6 minutes, 5 minutes, something like that, on different things you want to learn or that you just want to stay ahead of, stay up on your, stay sharp in. So in this one, I did like a networking one. I have a Git one, a JavaScript, and a Java. But you can also set it up to do workouts and a bunch of other topics. Right now, they have these 6 main topics, but they have a whole bunch of other ones that are planned. So you can pretty much say, hey, I'm interested in this iOS. You select your level. Say if I said I was a beginner and save, then that topic would be marked as under the coming soon category, one of the topics that they'll notify you of once they've added it to the app. And so there's a few things in this app, but it's really cool because it kind of uses a bit of AI where it tries to learn your different, like basically how good you're doing as you go through the app. If you say there's something that or you already knew already, it'll kind of take you down another path. For the workout, if it's something that you actually didn't know, they'll take you down that path. So it kind of helps a lot. Let me illustrate a little bit. So if I go back and do one of my workouts, say if I went into this Linux one, click finish this workout, they just have a little short excerpt of something that kind of like goes over a topic. Sometimes they're longer than this. And this is just talking about, running a command as another user. And they give an example of that. If you type the who am I and you're actually the user foo right now. But if you did a sudo -u as user test and said who am I, it'll say your user test. And so that's the tip, right? And say if I say I already knew that, it'll skip me. But a lot of times it'll give you like a little quiz or test. So say if I already knew that, right? Now might get a little bit deeper on su then versus sudo. And so big difference between su and sudo command. Su switches to another root user. Sudo runs command with root user privileges. I knew that basically is binary setup. So I would go through this and read it. It's really short, probably take you like a minute. I'm just glancing over it. So I could try it out now, even though I'm doing this kind of live. The sudo or the machine, which one is it? So you pick one of the answers and it fills in the gap. And user can always run all the commands elevated privileges. Bing! Is that right? Let's go to answer. Try again, and it takes your answer back out. It kind of highlights a couple words in there too. I think that was just from the markdown or something that was in there. Let's see. Equivalent of root. That's what I get for not reading and not being that proficient. That's the reason I'm doing workouts. A machine, which a user can use to run commands and no, I don't think it's the machine. A user can run one or more commands and elevated privileges. I thought I just put that in there. No, let's try that. Bing! And it tells you well done or whatever if you got that. Yeah, it only took me like 2-3 tries, right? That's because I didn't read, right? But go back up. It's right above me. You can read and figure out what a sudo is. And I probably would have got it right the first time as opposed to just jumping into it. But that's the cool thing about it. So it tells you well done. You got a choice down here to share that, bookmark it, or find it, to add a comment or question to the Enki community, like post it to the community. But I'm going to bookmark this because I'm doing a video and I didn't really take the time to read through it. So I just want to read it again. I use su and pseudo all the time, but not often enough to be extremely proficient in all the root, commands I can use. So I'll just say I learned something in that case, right? The sticky bit permission. Wow. This sticky bit permission is a bit that protects the files within the directory. Okay, so that's a good enough example. I'll come back to that. And the app will remind you of finishing your workouts a few times a day if you wanted to, so you can get that workout done. I did learn something really good from this Git workout the other day that I actually used yesterday at work, which was great. Basically, committing hunks of changes as opposed to the entire file, or hunks of files, which was cool. I've done that using an app before, but I never did that with, on the command line. So I did it with that. This JavaScript one's cool, and this Java one is cool too. So yeah, it's a really nice app if you want to stay sharp and learn new things. With a few different programming languages and networking and stuff. It also has games, and right now, which one did I do? I think I did a Git one. Let's try an on-off Git game, and you can kind of see how this works. A stack falls down, and you basically go right to left as to which one you were going to answer the problem with, and you try not to let the stack get too high or you die, something like that. So this is how the games go. It's falling, 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 get remote. Is this a remote command or a local command? This is a remote command. And you get points for that. And then you'll see the bar up here go up to the end of the game. Get merged, that's a local command. I mean, a lot of these you could use remotely, but where is it most often used? Get add. Get push, that deals with remote. Get remote, remove my remote. Get checkout master, local command. Get pull, local, See, stuff like that. Where I'm actually pulling from remote, I should have known. Get reset, I would do that locally. Don't want to reset on the remote. Config, set up my local configs, my init. Branching locally. Diffing locally, logging locally, fetching, where we're going to fetch from. We could fetch from local stuff, but we're most likely going to fetch from remote, and I got that right. Revert on local, don't revert on, but this is a remote. You're typically going to clone from remote. Get that right. Get remove readme, local thing, and get commit local. Almost done. Rebase, don't rebase on from the remote, yes. Okay, bang. So that's how it works. It keeps a score, it kind of tells you how you're doing, and it helps you a lot. This is just a quick way to kind of review stuff too, and that was on Git. And remember, this will do it for Java, JavaScript. I forgot the other one that they have that's in here. Oops. Linux, Java, JavaScript, Python, CSS, and Git for now, but a lot of other stuff planned to happen later. It's a wonderful app. I really like it a lot. And it's one of the ways I spend a few minutes of my day staying sharp. Hope you like it. Bye.